Good morning, riders. Today is February 8th, 2019. My name is Cameron Nestor.
And I'm Dejana Wynn. Let's go take a look at our Del One Financial Seminar.
Ms. Wade's NAV class recently held a financial fair to inform students on financial literacy to better prepare them for their future.
The Academy of Finance is a program that we just started here at the high school this year, and we're having our first financial fair today. The students that are in this course are taking the Fundamentals of Finance class. This is the first level of our pathway, and students right now are learning career knowledge and financial knowledge, and they're actually being able to share that knowledge with their peers.
Hi, I'm Talia Barnett. My topic at the financial fair was credit scores and agencies, and a credit score is basically a number between 300 and 850 that increases and decreases based on if you maintain a good credit, which is basically paying your bills on time and making sure you don't overspend on your credit cards.
I'm Rodney Kalk. I'm a senior here at Cesar Rodney High School, and I'm a part of the Mrs. Wade's NAF class. We had a financial fair today, and my topic was why financial literacy is so important. And it's so important is because it can help a lot of people in their life with money management skills, setting goals, and overall living a happier life. If you want to learn how to do those things, you should take Mrs. Wade's NAF class. You learn a lot of awesome information that I didn't know before I took the class, and I'm more than happy that I took the class, and I learned a lot of really useful information.
Students who attended now know more about financial literacy thanks to the NAV class. I'm TJ Guerre with Rider News.
Thank you, TJ.
This month, we celebrate Black History Month by recognizing the importance of all involved.
Level 2 students actually developed the digital stories about individuals in Black history.
So today, we're going to be taking a look at John Coltrane.
You're listening to Giant Steps, a legendary album composed by jazz legend John Coltrane. Chances are, if you listen to any jazz, you've heard of him. It is no doubt he has left his mark on the music industry. But, with several legendary musicians like Miles Davis, Count Basie, and Dizzy Gillespie already shining in the big leagues during his time, how did Coltrane find his place on top? From the beginning, during his high school jazz band days, John Coltrane was said to have that something special in creativity and expression that set him apart from his peers. His first recordings were taken while he was drafted into the U.S. Navy as part of the Navy Band. He was a big hit with the sailors around him. Eventually, he went on to play with the bands that influenced him the most, including Dizzy Gillespie's Big Band, the Miles Davis Quintet, and Earl Bostick's band. But the story wasn't all happy for Coltrane. As a young performer, Coltrane succumbed to the darker side of musician culture and began abusing heroin and alcohol. The habit ended up with him getting kicked out of Johnny Hodges' band, a big blow in his career. Luckily, he later married Juanita Alston, a converted Muslim who taught Coltrane how to have faith in himself and helped him out of his bad habits for a while. Unfortunately, the damage was already done, as Coltrane died at 41 years old of liver cancer due to this abuse of drugs and alcohol. But in those 41 years, this man changed music forever. Coltrane was commonly revered as a leader in both jazz innovation and what was known as the Black Arts Movement. One of his most famous albums, Giant Steps, revolutionized jazz harmonization. Today it is considered a hallmark for a jazz musician to successfully improvise over the complex and rapid chord changes in Giant Steps. Coltrane's legacy didn't only live through his musical innovation, however. He would advocate for black rights and protest against discrimination with his talents. His hit song Alabama was written in response to the 1963 Birmingham church bombing, which killed 4 little girls. Coltrane was one of the best at what he did. His contribution to the black arts community has left its mark on the world, in jazz music, and beyond. As a jazz musician myself, I can fully appreciate the awe-inspiring technical finesse and technique that Coltrane exhibits in his performances. Jazz is hard, and to innovate in jazz is like innovating in physics. Sometimes it seems as if everything to know about jazz has already been discovered, until someone like Coltrane rolls in and shows everyone something so unique and exotic that experts in the field are starstruck. The chord progression in Giant Steps defined what is today known as the Coltrane changes. The key in his song changes every 2 beats, which makes it notoriously difficult to solo over for a musician of any ability. In the original recording, you can hear the pianist hesitating as the chords change faster than he can keep up with. However, I didn't pick John Coltrane for my video story solely from his jazz skills. He is the epitome of peaceful protest and artistic expression. Instead of choosing to publicize his opinions violently, he voiced himself through the wonderful music he wrote. As both an innovative musician and a strong advocate for civil rights, it would be unjust not to include John Coltrane in this year's Black History Month exhibition.
Just to let you know, we will be releasing more digital stories for Black History Month throughout February. It's for each week.
They will release separate from the news, so make sure you are subscribed to CRN News and make sure when they come out.
I love how we're like every other YouTuber, just saying, hey, make sure you're subscribed. Anyway.
Okay, it's time for segments.
Good morning, riders. Let's get into the weather for this week. Today, we're looking at a good day, so 59 degrees. Going to the weekend, it's going to start getting cloudy with temperatures in the 30s. Monday through Wednesday, we may have some rain with temperatures in the 40s. Thursday and Friday, we'll have a chance of rain. So that's all from me. Have a great day, and let's go Riders.
Dining with Dom. Dining with Dom.
Good morning, riders. This is Dining with Dom, bringing you your lunch menu for next week. Now, Monday we have chicken tenders with a roll. Tuesday we have tangerine chicken with chow mein noodles. Wednesday we have sausage, egg, and cheese croissant. Thursday we have chili cheese nachos or layered bean dip. And Friday we have chicken wings with mac and cheese. Thank you. This has been Dining with Dom.
If Wiley the Coyote had all that money to buy stuff from Acme, why didn't he just buy dinner?
Good morning, riders. Time for Motivational Moment with Kendall. Today's quote is by LL Cool J. It reads, "Stay focused, go after your dreams, and keep moving towards your goals. Never lose focus of what's important, and set your eyes on this goal." This has been Motivational Moment with Kendall.
Well, that's all from me, and I think the others can say the same.
Well, that's all from us. This week, my name is Dejana Wynn.
And I'm Cameron Nestor.
And let's go Riders.
And don't forget about our candy and videograms.
Stan and Ollie is written by Jeff Pope, directed by John S. Baird, and stars John C. Reilly and Steve Coogan. It follows the famous comedy duo Laurel and Hardy throughout their last days performing live throughout post-war Britain. Welcome to Rider Reviews. This is Antonio Rivera. I didn't know this movie existed until I saw a showtime for it and decided to check out what it was about. While I'm not very familiar with the work of Laurel and Hardy, I do understand the immense impact they've had on the world of comedy since their inception, and I thought the topic would be quite interesting. Starting with the positives of the film, Steve Coogan's performance, and all of the performances in general, are very good. I loved how Steve Coogan carried himself as Stan Laurel. There were a lot of little details in his performance that really showed a lot about who Stan Laurel was outside of his comedy routines. A lot of the more emotional scenes are made that much better because of Steve Coogan's performance. John C. Reilly is also really good here. He's always had a great versatility as an actor, both being really great at comedy and really great at drama. Nina Arianda and Shirley Henderson play Laurel and Hardy's wives in the film, and they are also quite good and very entertaining when they're given screen time. The movie also flowed very well despite being about true events. They managed to edit and pace the film so that there was a steady build-up, so that when something went wrong, the impact was a lot greater on the audience, because it just, like a build-up of tension finally being released. However, being a movie about comedians, there are moments of levity, and I thought this was one of the most interesting parts of the movie. Laurel and Hardy were most popular during the 1930s, and their popularity slowly declined, and they were kind of replaced by the other comedy duo Abbott and Costello by the 50s, when this movie takes place. Since the movie takes place so long ago, a lot of the comedy is slapstick, and while at times is quite humorous, it isn't always hitting the mark, and I thought that was a really interesting change to see from the 1930s, 40s, and 50s comedy to what we find funny today. It's a drastic difference. Despite this, the skits and sketches are actually quite funny sometimes, but some are really hammy, and not everyone will appreciate that. It was really interesting to understand this divide between a modern audience watching the film and the 1930s, 40s, and 50s audiences watching Laurel and Hardy in the film. What disappointed me the most in this film was the visual aspect and the technical aspects of the film. The cinematography felt really flat a lot of the times and uninspired. There lacked any kind of visual flair or style that a lot of other filmmakers really exude. The movie is competently shot and edited, it just felt bland. However, there was a really nice long take at the beginning of the film that opened up and a few nice shots scattered throughout. Despite these issues, I believe Stan and Ollie is a good film and well worth your time. It feels like a love letter to Laurel and Hardy, and I recommend seeing it if you can, especially if you are a fan of their work.